Welcome to Tinker Tailor Solder Fry here on the mighty Loading Ready Run Video Entertainment Network. My name is Ian Horner, and joining me this week is Cameron Lauder.
Hello.
And Graham Stark.
Hey, what's up?
Hey. So yeah, this is...
Fix my house.
you bought a house.
Well, it's a condo, but yeah.
And now you want me to fix it.
Well, I want to run cable better.
Okay, and you brought the house here to run the cable with?
No, and we don't have the stuff to do.
We don't.
We said we were going to do that earlier. We said we were going to do a thing with Cat 5 earlier, and we can't because we don't have the parts.
No, they're not here.
Although the chat was like, well, it'd be pretty hard to set fire to something or fry a circuit board with, just dealing with Cat 5.
It's true.
Which is true, but
Now, if
luckily we have a different plan for that. We can totally set a fire today.
I mean, we could cut the cable in the middle and splice the ends together, and that wouldn't be difficult.
Yeah, but that's not going to... Just unconnected Cat 5 is not going to ignite.
You think so?
Depends on how much power you put over that Ethernet. No, instead today we're going to continue painting these silver tower figures.
Yep.
Where are you at on that, by the way?
I am 1.8 figures in.
What's the 0.8?
I'm mostly done the Mistweaver set.
Right. For those who watch the highlights, that's the shapely elf butt.
Yeah.
In there somewhere.
Yeah, it's...
We need to get some of that Japanese figure photography to be able to see that.
Yeah, we need
shapely.
like the fine scale modeler blue gradient. And this is the one.
Yeah,
It's
that's
the Excelsior War Priest or Hyperion War Priest or something that means sun or upwards.
he is solid.
Yeah. I like
work.
this guy a lot.
And that's out of how many?
Like 50 or 60, my dude.
Well, we're planning on streaming Silver Tower once the heroes are painted.
Yeah, so
So Penelope's going to be playing which class?
Yeah, good point.
I should just come in during the week in the mornings and start painting these things. It would probably only take about, I don't know, another 30 hours to get it all done.
Your speed
You want
is
to move the webcam slightly to your left, or move the thing to your right. Yeah. Whichever way.
your speed is not the issue on this.
Yeah. Which figure's that?
This is the Knight Questor, who is, I guess, the group's tank. He's a large slab of man.
Is that the one that suffers from flat ass?
No, the one that suffers from flat ass is the Dark Oath Champion. Where if you look at this man's butt,
Wow, that is.
It's like they took like a shapely man's ass and just cut through it with a meat slicer. But that's so his loincloth right here.
I was going to
has,
say, it was like there's going to be something that connects to that.
His ass looks like a game of crokinole. Like mid-tap.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for more on that.
Yeah. Yeah, and so today I'm going to actually start my initial explorations and solderings into modding the Dreamcast. I've been wanting to do this for a while. And you say modding, but why, Ian?
Yeah, Ian, why?
Why? Well,
Why?
lasers get old, Graham.
Oh.
CD drives start to feel bad. And
Lasers are never old. Lasers are always cool.
Yeah. They'll
Lasers
always,
got old years ago.
They will
Graham.
always be cool.
No.
I had to burn a CD for the first time in years today.
Ooh.
What we're going to do is...
Are you okay?
I didn't inhale the fumes.
No,
Get
good,
lit.
good.
No, what we're going to do is we're going to stick inside of this a SD card reader.
Really?
Yes.
I'm stoked.
That's the start of it.
Okay.
The SD card itself will contain a piece of software called Dreamshell, which is sort of a Linux-based shell for the Dreamcast hardware, which will allow me to then solder an IDE connector onto the motherboard and connect to that a SATA adapter, so I can just plug in a hard drive to the back of the...
What?
And then I can dump my games through the GD-ROM onto the hard drive and play them off the hard drive, thus reducing wear and tear on the GD-ROM.
Cam, what's that?
That's liquid cement.
Holy oof.
I don't even smell it anymore.
You should get that checked.
I don't see how.
So let's bring out the bag of tricks here today.
I'm excited. You might want to even like raise that up higher to get a more downward angle at some point.
So yeah, that's the Dreamshell disk I burned just today. We have a copy of Image Burn on the office computer. This will need to connect to the IDE hard drive by USB. That'll come later.
Does that have to go in here?
No, thank God.
Okay, I was like, that's big.
Here's an old IDE hard drive I had that we can use for testing once we actually get this installed. I don't think we're going to need that today either.
Yeah, I'll put this over here.
And that's... Oh, no, wait, this is the final piece. This is the piece of equipment I had to order. I could have built one myself, but sometimes you got to support the local economy. This guy turned out to be in Richmond. I found out after ordering it.
That's not local.
Well, it's Canadian.
Local-esque.
This is the actual SD card adapter itself, and it solders onto some small pins on the serial port in the back of the Dreamcast. Let's get that open here. It comes with a ribbon cable, which is going to be nice to not ruin.
No way.
What?
The Night Quester's left-handed.
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
Look, he's got a shield in his right hand and his sword in his left hand.
Just like Link.
Yeah.
And Cameron.
Yeah, and Cameron.
And Steven.
And Steven. Oh, wow, that makes me really happy. And Corey.
I didn't know.
And Tally.
Yes.
There are a lot of left-handed people in this organization.
And Obama.
So yeah, that's the link up to the serial module. That's
So we.
This is where I'm going to be doing my soldering today. I'm
Can we see that?
afraid. Maybe we can get that under the.
Well, no, here. We got it. There we go. That's very small.
Well, luckily, you now have
a second, third hand with a bigger magnifying glass. Ooh, yeah. This is going to be exciting. So that's going to connect to the serial port
I'm
on
excited.
the inside of the back of the Dreamcast.
Do you have a spare?
Oh no, a spare Dreamcast or spare anything?
Whatever.
any.
Nope.
Okay.
And this is
there
the-
any answer to that question that is yes?
No.
Okay.
Including that one.
Hey Cam, Isaac13 says, I have an old model kit of the Bismarck with motors on the turrets. Would Cam be interested in it?
Oh, I do not have 20 spare years to build a model of a battleship. Okay, my uncle, when I was a little kid, he got a model, like a wooden model of HMS Victory.
Cool.
And he was like, it's nice, but I think I want to do a couple of extra like detailing things on it. And he wound up like plating the entire bottom with strips of copper and like getting hand-turned brass cannons and getting like, he didn't get ball bearings because ball bearings have one flat side for cannonballs. Basically, he never finished it. I would go every Christmas and he would be like, yeah, I added some rigging, right? But eventually it was just like this hull and it was gorgeous, but it was never finished. And that's my mental image of building a ship.
Right.
You never want to have that albatross.
Dear Dr. Cameron, as someone who wants to get into miniature painting, are there any resources you recommend for beginners? From Shambling Krishner.
There are lots of good forums that have, I found what's less important is technical know-how, and more important is just having the wherewithal to push through and learn, because you can learn a lot by looking at people's work, but what will teach you faster than anything else is actually working.
Hold it still.
So go to like, when I was playing, you would go to like dakadaka.com and warseer.com and look at their forums, and they will have like people doing painting blogs, right? Where it'll just be a thread where somebody has been updating it for years as they paint their army.
This?
And I find that can be like good motivation.
God. It's so heavy.
That's full of tools.
So is this panel.
So I guess we. Ooh,
Whoa.
wow.
Dude.
I include myself.
Yeah, self-burn there.
A regular spanner.
That's only an insult in the UK.
Yeah. We can bring it.
I'd
over
love
here.
to make it. It's such a good one. I'd love to make it work over here.
So I think
Which
we need
one?
this spanner.
Spanner.
Accidental semi-dab.
I might need this, so I'll. All right, just put
it down here.
So yeah, we're
So
just gonna have to.
fucking heavy.
I've never taken apart a Dreamcast before,
Oh, good.
so this is gonna be exciting to see to figure this out.
Have you looked it up?
I know.
Do you know the schematic?
Yes. This is perfect.
I
This
like
can't possibly
Dreamcasts.
fail.
I mean,
They were such a cool system.
this is what it's all about.
You want a hand raising that one up?
Ooh. Thankfully, there aren't any weird screws to start with in the Dreamcast disassembly. It's all Phillips so far.
Are we going to get like into the inside and it's just going to be one solid glob of hot glue?
Hot glue everywhere. I mean, that would be fine because then it would just peel off.
Fair.
And then I get to remove the modem.
So are we going to be able to play Phantasy Star Online?
I mean, yes, we'll be able to boot it. I think there are still Dreamcast Phantasy Star Online servers running. I know that Adam just posted information about a PC Phantasy Star Online.
Right, yeah, I knew I'd heard
third-party
something.
one.
Yeah.
Which seems exciting. Ooh, okay.
It's a mod for Ultima.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Okay,
It's a
I'm
mod for Ultima Online.
less
Wow,
excited
okay.
now, but that's still impressive. Okay, so we got the lid off.
Man, Ultima Online.
That's first base.
Oh, hey, there's the coin battery that I could replace, finally, and we wouldn't have to keep setting the time.
Oh, so that thing's super dead?
Oh yeah, that coin battery is super dead. I think my coin batteries currently live at home in my airsoft thing. Ooh, hey, check out the tiny little fan.
Aw.
It's so wee.
Yeah,
It's a wee little fan. Everything's wee in
noisy.
here. Actually, that coin battery is huge, considering.
Yeah.
So that's the clock battery.
Yeah, and I believe
It just sits in a clip sticking out of the circuit board.
it feels
easy
like it's
access.
actually tack welded on there too.
Seriously?
Yeah, like those little dots. If you can,
I doubt that's going to come across, but oh, maybe.
yeah.
Wait, hang. So it's
Maybe
right,
see some dots right on
in
the center of that.
hard
Oh,
for me to
wow,
see.
yeah.
That's as close as I can get.
Yeah, you're doing good.
there. It's a little hard. It's a little easier to see on the one in the back, but I think that'd be a harder camera angle. What?
Why would...
You're flying. You've put away your
There we go.
scanner,
There we
Luke.
did it. We did.
Oh, there. Okay, you can totally see. There's two little in the indent. In there, it's not focused, but in the indent in there, there's these two little dots. There we
it's
go.
the
There's
block.
two tiny dots in that indent on the back of the thing. So that's welded.
I think those indicate a small just amount of current that's been put through
This
to
is
weld those
magnetic.
together.
I should probably stop sticking this.
Oh
in
no, no,
What a dick move.
magnets are fine.
there. All right. So how are you gonna get that out?
Oh, the battery?
Yeah.
That was pride.
Okay.
Still pops. Like if they're tack welds, then it's just gonna be a little bit of force to knock it off and then bend it together and
Right
make
till
a
it
new.
pops. All right.
Yeah.
So where does the SD card? Well, where does it go, and then where does it connect?
Well, so normal SD card readers would connect to the serial port here, which you'll note is underneath the power port.
right.
Which means
Well, show the camera, not me.
yeah, which means that we're going to need to get underneath that, which means we're going to need to take out the power supply.
So, but wait, you'll still will it just be like a flat, like a flush slot on the outside of the Dreamcast that you'll just click it in?
Right, I should mention how it's going to be.
Please, yes.
Yeah, what I'm planning to do is mount this here,
Aha.
and then take the top case and cut a small amount of plastic out over top of where it goes, just enough for the SD card itself,
Okay, sweet.
and then it'll be
I see that lid.
a small.
I love, by the way, I love this. This is
Oh, light pipes.
yeah. This is it's a little section of plastic that they put an LED. They shine an LED in here, and this just takes the light because they can't do it straight.
Right.
Takes the light up to where the light actually is because the LED
Yeah.
Is right here on the motherboard.
is back here,
But,
and they have to send the light.
yeah, so it's a plastic with a high refractive index.
Yeah.
So just to give you an idea of how much it's going to be sticking out here, it's only about half the SD card will be out by the time that's in there.
All right.
As for the
So, but where does that connect to?
that connects, as I said, to the inside of this little connector.
How long of a gesundheit?
There we
Good
go.
call. What sort of a? How long is the ribbon though?
Thankfully, long enough.
Are you sure? Oh, okay.
Yeah, the
Oh,
guy
that's
who's
way
made
long.
this has allowed it to come out, fold over, and goes underneath, and then up, and then out there.
So you got to take all this out.
Yeah, basically.
Sweet.
I'm a little bit scared, but not too scared. let's see, where to start here?
Chat would appreciate knowing what you're drinking.
This is the Moon Brew Oktoberfest edition.
Yes, it's our current local brow.
Yes, it's, ultra local.
Well, it's the current Horner Private Reserve. What are you thinking for the next one, by the way?
So mentioned we had some people who weren't as big of fans of the Oktoberfest. I'd picked up 2 kits to do, but that's fine. So I think I've got a stout online.
Oh.
So I think I might just pop that in the hopper.
I'm a big fan of stout, particularly your stout.
Perfect. Then the stout it shall be.
So good.
Yeah, the one thing I wanted to mention before I go any further as well is how I'm going to get the hard drive connected. And I've seen a few methods online of how to do that, but it's probably going to have to end up coming up through here and then out the back.
So why do you need, if you have the SD card, what's the hard drive for?
SD cards, because it's going through a serial port, are notoriously slow for their read-write speeds.
Oh, okay.
So even though you can get a big SD card that will hold all the games you could ever need,
Right.
the load time is going to be slower than it would be on the GD-ROM.
So the SD card is for the software that allows you to run ROMs.
Yeah, it just runs the OS effectively, and
Okay.
then all the data runs off the ROMs on the hard drive.
Okay, so this is going to be a multi-episode process.
Definitely,
All right.
because once we get this done, there's one other thing I can show off in that bag. I think.
Corvus, I was going to be sort of tinkering, but I am sort of doing the commentary straight man thing, yeah.
The last step in the process is going to be taking this, which is a tiny IDE cable.
Yeah.
I used to have, this used to be part of a, what was it? One of those cases, an external to internal case for IDE hard drives. So I'm going to chop one of the cables off, and then I'm going to be taking about half of these cables and soldering them directly to the motherboard where this guy attaches.
Wow.
Yep.
All right.
Zyro Argus asks about, I keep seeing GD-ROM. How is that different from a CD-ROM? The GD-ROM, I don't remember what it stood for, but it was a variant of the CD-ROM that allowed for a larger size.
That just makes me think of the GameCube discs.
It did, but the GameCube took it a step further.
They called those GD-ROMs, though, didn't they? The little GameCube discs? Because the GameCube ran on, like, small CDs.
Yeah.
Remember the business card CDs?
Oh yeah, those were great. they would F up your slot loader.
Game
real
disc
good.
ROM.
Yeah,
Sure.
we'll go with that.
Proprietary.
Point is, it was a proprietary type of disc that held more data, and the pirates found a way to get around it and read them through the machine and spit them onto cards or to your computer.
Gigabit disc ROM because it held 1 gig instead of 780 megs.
Right.
There we go.
Thank you.
Cool. Thanks, chat.
Yeah.
Who was that? Z Alpha. Oh, no, wait. Sorry, that was Asmodee. Thank you.
Anyway, we're spending a lot of time talking and not spending a lot
Yeah,
of
you
time disassembling.
get literally cracking.
So
Well, I mean, hopefully you don't crack
Get wares
anything.
and
yeah, so this looks like the power cable that. Wow, that looks like this is the switch. That's it.
got there?
Yep, switch is disconnected.
Cool.
We can now no longer switch on.
When's the last time you turned this thing on?
Oh, actually, just a few weeks back.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember playing something on it.
Better have been jet grind.
Now, capacitors of this size aren't super dangerous for holding a charge, are they?
No, they will definitely hold a charge.
But in like a dangerous charge?
It'll hurt.
Oh, these ones are large capacitors.
Yeah.
These are large.
Power supplies are generally the things you don't touch.
Right.
They are a black box. You do not.
Well,
Yeah.
poke your metal thing in there then.
Yeah, I just need to leverage
Like-
it up because there's a clip
There's
holding
no
it
other.
down.
Oh, there's a clip. Okay.
There was that capacitor you found in Paul's monitor that was the size of a roll of quarters.
Oh yeah, that was.
Someone sent us one like this big around.
Ding.
Someone sent us one like this big, and they were like, "Here, have this for fun with microwaves." And we were like, "We're not putting that in a
Yeah,
microwave."
no, absolutely not.
So that's the whole thing.
Yeah, that's the whole power supply.
Wow.
Actually, I could probably replace that pretty easily.
Look at that. So that's just a normal ass power supply.
Basically, I mean, it's going to take standard wall voltage and turn it into, as you can see on the power supply here, 3.3 volt, 5 volt, and 12 volt rails.
This looks gross. Why does this look gross?
Probably because it's
It's
just
just old plastic.
Yeah, it's old plastic and it yellows over time. But
So this goes in here.
Yeah. The nifty thing about this power supply is that the pins come in through the bottom, right here on the board.
Right.
And so you slide the power supply down onto said pins. I'm gonna put that over there.
Does this come out? This is super loose.
Probably. Probably not yet, though.
All right.
We might not even need to take it out.
Well, if you want to get under it, because this is now a metal plate here.
Yeah.
It looks like you're going to have to take this whole thing off.
And I think that's going to happen. So
This looks like the CD reader's next.
I'm actually going to take a quick shot of this,
Smart.
just so I know which screws go where.
Good call. Good call.
Some gold screws on.
Dear Dr. Ian, does this mean I need to learn how to program the Dreamcast now? Asks Dark Morford.
I mean, Dark Morford, if you want to program Desert Bus for the Dreamcast, it's apparently a lot easier.
Apparently the Dreamcast serial port clocks in at 1.5 megabits, so pretty slow.
Yeah. Good. These are all.
Put dabs of paint on the screws. Suggests all meat pizza.
That's also not a bad
I
idea.
mean, those are actually the same screws.
But yeah, these
it
are
looks
all-
like these are all the same.
pretty similar sized.
I'd go further than that. I'd say they are the same.
Oh, I see here. So there are 3 screws on the GD-ROM first, which I think need to come out.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Is this assembly has to come out
Yeah,
first, and then the
next.
bottom plate.
Yeah. So far, we haven't done anything we can't pull back from, but.
Give us time.
Do we have like a
cup?
something to hold the screws in?
Not in. Oh yeah, there's the Pigglesworth cup mug.
Oh yeah. Hey, Pigglesworth.
No egg carton?
Not
Not
here.
today.
Not
today.
I really should keep one of those around just for this project or projects on this show.
What's this switch?
That I think is the switch for
Look at this. It just.
indicating the door up and down. Oh yeah, so
Oh, it is too.
yeah, this end of the gear here is going to bump up against the switch when it's down.
Wow, that's so just physical. All right.
Easy. All right, will this lift out easily? Yes, it will.
Ooh.
Wait,
Ooh.
is it caught on something?
Well, there's a peg over there.
Yeah. There we go.
Ta-da.
Oh,
Oh.
perfect. So it's just a little connector.
Lovely.
We can show that off in a second here. Yeah, just right there. And so some of the pieces of hardware, the Russian ones that I'd mentioned, that replaced the GD-ROM unit, just plug into this little adapter here. But as I said before, those are expensive and hard to come by. If I can do this cheap and, well, not easy, but for your amusement.
Economical.
Yeah, those are different.
Those are the.
I guess it doesn't matter, but
They're the same as the ones so far that have gone that held the case itself together.
so now you're taking out this whole plate.
Yep.
So that's got to come out first then, because the plate goes under the controller board.
Well, I might be able to lift the plate out without having to remove that front piece. Graham seems to think no.
I didn't say anything.
But you were thinking it where chat could see you.
By the way, I'd also heard
I was definitely making faces at the chat.
I'd also heard talk that people want me to take the 2 PS4 controllers we have and make them into one good PS4 controller.
One of them is good. It just doesn't charge.
So,
It's fine.
So what I'm thinking is take the bits out of. I could also probably repair one of the.
Oh yeah, good point.
sticks on it.
Oh, good. Okay, Corey's on top of it.
Question from the chat, Cameron. What colors did you pull out of the box?
okay, I pulled out Vallejo Pale Flesh, Vallejo Imperial Blue, a color I'm not actually going to use, and then Games Workshop Skull White, Blood Red,
Skull White.
Chaos Black, and Red Ink. So these are all like with names that are very clearly marketed at like 14-year-olds, but they're actually pretty good for this. Games Workshop at least used to make fairly decent paint. Vallejo makes fairly decent paint, but the one thing that you can no longer get from them, which were excellent, were the inks.
Oh.
Normally, a paint is made up of like 3 elements, one of which is the pigment, one of which is the kind of just like the bulk medium, and the third of which is the thing that makes the pigment stick to the thing that you're painting. And an ink is just medium in pigment. So it's transparent, but it's very highly saturated, and it's really useful for a lot of things.
So while Cam was dealing with that, I was trying to get the fan plug out of this piece, because for those keeping track at home, Graham was correct, and this piece does need to come off.
That's the board that the controllers plug into, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. There's that ribbon connector, too.
Yeah, that part, thankfully, is... Ooh, that doesn't make a nice sound, but
No, that's a bad noise.
it just comes out like
Oh,
that.
it's nice and clean, though.
Okay, which of these...
It's like there's... Do those... Yeah. It looks like there's 4 of those.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can get away with just doing 2 of them.
Because you're not sure if they're actually holding the board to the case or just the actual connectors to the board.
Yeah, 2 of them definitely are. Oh, and these ones are long ones. So I'm going to take another picture just to note that the long ones...
We could also just play this in reverse when you put it back together.
Tinker, Tailor, Solder, Fry, where some days you're Geordie LaForge and some days you're the Packleds.
You should know it's uncouth to watch your own programs.
I sure don't.
It looks like you will be able to get away without taking out the power switch and the fan.
Hooray! That's something.
I'm betting you have to undo all 4 of
yep.
them, but let's see. Yep, no, all right. Well, that didn't take long. Fry, solder, Tailor, tinker. Okay. Is that the order we're going in now?
Well, I mean, maybe they just don't refer to what you think they refer to. Like the Tailor is really more of the cooking show, and the Fry is definitely the electronics.
It could have been the order, too. I mean, the last episode was more of a tinker than anything else.
Tinker occurs before the stream starts.
There we
we
go.
go. So that whole
Okay.
thing just comes up. Yeah.
That's just a nice little board.
Oh, I see. And then this is, oh, weird. So this is shaking, but there's a bit there. I don't know if you can see it. That bit is under the metal plate.
It's held in friction.
Yeah.
Effectively.
Well, the screws that we were just, there we go. All right.
A, B, C, and D. I missed that naming structure for controllers.
That tells me that whole thing is undone now.
Yes.
There we go.
There we go. That's why we've removed all the screws.
Ta-da.
And
Wow.
solder
Wow,
is
that-
what you yell.
Wow. That, I think, actually is supposed to act as a heat sink, because that's some
That
very
looks like a heatsink, yeah.
Yeah, that's heavy steel plate.
Yep. Thick.
Hyundai Korea, Malaysia, Japan, Korea, Sega.
Now,
Is that like John Glenn saying that like his first thought when he was about to be launched into space was that he was sitting on top of like a 4-story tall bomb where every component was built by the lowest bidder? Like, wait a minute.
I'd like to point out some fun stuff I just discovered in here,
Sega.
as we usually do at this stage.
Yeah.
You'll note that the name of the board is the Katana.
Is it really?
Yep.
Wow. Segata Sanshiro, Segata Sanshiro.
I think that's the only
The
interesting...
Katana board. There it is. Copyright Sega, 1999.
It's pronounced katana.
Please do not dishonor Nihon.
Just disassemble it. It drops a sweet katana.
Okay, so that's stuck in there.
So is this...
Nope.
Whoa.
That'll come out. There we go. Let's get it out of there for soldering purposes.
Well, hey.
And that's the case. So if we ever wanted to dye a case, which I've been keen to do at some point, just to make things look...
Yeah, this wouldn't be... you just take out the fan and this, because this isn't even attached.
I remember way back in the day, the
I'm gonna leave
local
those
game rental place sold new bodies,
Yeah.
clear plastic
Oh,
bodies
that's
for the
right.
Dreamcast.
Is this even? Yeah, no, this is just snapped in. The metal part.
Whoa.
Nice.
I
VMKid points
totally
out
forgot
that
about that.
Katana was the code name for the Dreamcast.
Yeah.
Microplay.
Wow, what a letdown that must have been. Like for the 12-year-olds today. Sega's making a new console called the Katana. The what? The Dreamcast?
It'll slice the competition up.
It's gonna fight a dolphin.
Yeah.
That was the GameCube, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
The dolphin? Yeah.
That's just some shielding.
That looks important. Oh.
Yeah, we're not going to throw any of these parts away.
So, now what?
Well, we can peel off the Pass QC sticker because I think that's done.
So, where's that connecting?
Well, that's what we're going to find, or what we're going to do now. This tiny little bit here is going to attach to this section there.
The serial port?
Yep.
So does
Thusly.
That's what you need to solder?
Yep. Each one of those tiny connectors needs
Jesus,
to be...
really?
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. I've never done something this fine before.
That's so small.
I'm experiencing fear.
I mean, I tend to try my best to, encourage people and build people up and everything. And I don't want to discourage you either, but that seems very finicky.
Yeah, this is going to be difficult.
How is it supposed to sit?
Well, if I remember the instructions properly, apply a small drop of hot glue to keep the board in place as you solder.
So, hang on. So it wants this, going by this image, it wants that piece, this chip here. Sorry, Heather.
This red part is this.
The red part
big
is this, which it wants to just sit 45 on the board on a dab of hot glue. And then it wants you to solder these connectors.
Yeah. Without shorts, mind you.
Yeah,
Well, that's what the hot glue is for.
I mean,
how are you supposed to not bridge the...
It's a good thing you're wearing pants.
a very small amount of solder? How big is my pointer? Is it small enough?
Special non-conducting. Did they make non-conducting solder? That's just hot glue.
Yes. Okay, now this is totally doable.
Good work, brain. We got there.
This is mostly doable. If it's not doable,
Flux the bus out of that board.
I can undo it. I have no flux. I've also never used flux. But I should be able to do this without flux, right?
Sure, I haven't soldered since high school.
I've never soldered.
We're forward.
Ooh, okay. So let's also talk a bit about what's going to come in the next, or in coming episodes. This is the connector for the GD-ROM, which is really actually just a IDE connector in disguise.
Ian, doesn't your solder have a flux core?
It might. Yeah, you're right, it does, because we saw it go up previously.
Yes. The normal smoke is the flux.
Yeah.
Well, good.
Yeah, so these little dots here, along there, are where we're going to be connecting these wires to.
Just directly to those dots?
Yep. Later on, though. That actually seems like it'll be a lot easier.
Yeah, that looks way easier.
Yeah.
This, I mean, I think, to be fair, I think starting with the worst possible part is a good call.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thankfully, Dreamcasts are still out there, too. So if I royally bust this up,
We can
Yeah,
probably...
You don't have to give any flux.
yeah, we can
Yeah.
recover.
No flux given. I'm all out of flux to give.
Okay.
You lining it up for... Oh, I see, for the overhead.
I'm trying to see if I can get in there.
No, because when you lean over it, it'll...
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Okay, let's start with hot glue to get that in there.
We have one of those, don't we?
Yeah, actually, could you toss me my bag?
Oh, here we go. How about just the hot glue gun?
Yeah, that'll be good. And if you could plug that into the plug that's next to you.
Yes. I can do
A
that.
power bar. I'm gonna get the soldering iron warmed up here as well.
All right, this is live. Glue gun hot!
Things are happening.
Glue gun up!
Yeah, it's a straightforward operation from here. Not easy, but straightforward.
You've read that whole package?
Once. Okay, do the thing. Gotcha. Insert and
I
fold
haven't
the
seen
cable like
an
shown.
instruction manual like this since the 90s.
Yeah, it's
Isn't it
photocopies
great?
of pictures.
Yeah. In Comic Sans.
Comic Sans.
Use a generous amount of hot glue to assure the reader's in place. Okay.
Use a cutting device, such as a Dremel.
Oh.
The YouTube video I watched beforehand suggested just using a razor knife, a box cutter. Wouldn't do that to you, Cam.
You're damn right you won't.
What's this thing called again?
This is a third hand. We've used his friend before.
Second one.
The second hand.
The second hand, third hand.
What is Ian ruining a Dreamcast in order to create? He's trying to create a Dreamcast that will run any Dreamcast
A
game.
better Dreamcast is the idea. Okay, that
Wasn't
should...
that a line from Firefly?
A better Dreamcast?
We're making a better world. Isn't that the Wayland Yutani motto?
Wouldn't
Do we have something
any
I can put this
Dreamcast
on?
play any Dreamcast
Oh.
game?
Yeah,
Because it's
why
dribbling now.
wouldn't-
Yes.
On the instructions, okay. Sure. Sure.
They're useless now.
Now, one of the options I could do is I could use electrical tape to tape off the areas that I don't want to be soldered.
Yes.
But I think this might be too small.
That's way too fine.
Yeah. This is just going to be
Unfortunately, I don't know how to get a good angle on this for chat either.
no. That this is.
I don't think it's feasible.
We can see through the overhead camera the magnifying glass, so potentially, if you scooch it forward,
Well, actually, maybe. I'm sorry, Cam. I know that you're using this right now, but could you swing your angle poise over here?
I think this actually is a good.
Oh
Oh, oh, oh. Oh,
Oh, you could even. I mean, you could do it through there. I don't know if. Well, hell, look at that.
Yeah, that'll work.
That needs to. Corey will need to tweak the focus, I think.
Yeah.
Twerk the focus. I mean, alternatively, you could go overhead at this point too.
So Rave says there's flux in the solder when you're doing rework like this. You desperately want additional flux to drown that joint in. I hope you have leaded solder, or else you have a lot of trouble. You're most likely going to need to put too much solder on it and then pull it off with the tip, given that you don't have the proper equipment.
Yep, that's what I was expecting to do.
You solder it by running the tip with a bead of solder along the pitch, and surface tension will pull it to the leads. Well then.
Okay.
Bad Graham, we don't see Cam enough as it is. I know. I know, but you're all going to want to see this up close when whatever happens, happens.
Also,
we
dude,
could go overhead, Corey.
No, because when you're leaning in there, your head blocks it.
No, not at all.
That's not the overhead, that's the overhead.
Yeah, I'm going to be in here.
But we can't see the part where it's... Wait. Nope, nope, other way, other way, other way. Keep going, keep going. That's what we need to see. But then that's useless for you.
Yeah. No, if I do that. Yeah,
No, just use the webcam.
we'll just use the webcam.
We'll give it back to Cam soon enough. One way or another.
So there's our hot glue. Let's give it a dollop.
I mean, people are saying to put the razor blade between the pins, which keeps the solder from bridging.
that would likely heat the razor blade and cause
Yep.
it to
Right.
capillary
I have to take
action.
this out here, actually.
Yeah.
The Flam Man says, I feel like you guys could use a consultant. That's kind of not the point.
Yeah.
Don't do that with a razor blade, for instance. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
You are the consultants. All of you. All, however many of you there are. How many are there? How many consultants do we have tonight, Corey?
What's the consultancy like?
We are running at 738 consultants.
Awesome.
That's
You're all being
wow.
super helpful.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Are you a Nintendo or a Nintendo?
Or a Nintendo can't.
I seg do what 10 can't.
Chat was right. This will be all about the surface tension. Don't force it. All
At
right.
least you can't do Nintendo.
Okay, we're done with the hot glue if you want to take that away. Thank you.
Sure. And unplug it, I assume?
Yeah. Okay, still waiting for that to get hot. Whew.
Well, that part's done.
Yep.
Let's go home. I mean, honestly, I do need to go home at some point before the stream is over.
Well, I'll try to get at least one joint done before you need to.
Yo.
Hey. No word of a lie, just rake it across the pins.
To finish it or to...
Like a Zen garden.
This is the Flan Man, who's the engineer.
Okay.
Solder will flow to hot metal as long as that.
Oh, don't breathe that in, by the way.
Thanks for doing it in my face. Wait, okay. Is this happening now?
This is happening.
As long as the leads and the contacts are both hot, it'll be fine. Empty your mind. Flan Man speaks the truth.
You know what? That's actually not good for me. My eyes are good enough that the
Well,
magnifying
it's
glass...
useful for the camera.
Yeah.
Hold on to your butts. If you short across these leads, that's not a huge deal, though, is it?
That's exactly the problem you don't want.
Wait, hang on. Make sure the thing you want to have solder on is hot, then rake it across.
Yes!
It should stick to the hot
soldering.
metal and shouldn't bridge if it does do it again.
That's basic soldering. Oh, I'm actually not... Yeah, because I'm looking through the magnifying glass. Like a chump.
Those are so small, and there's like 10. Oh my god.
There's one.
Dirac says they are clenching.
I think that's a good... And you know what? Just because I like tension, can you hand me the multimeter out of my fabric bag?
Making sure you haven't bridged.
Yeah. Like, if we can say we've got one successful...
Oh, this thing.
Yeah. Thank you.
Can we please... Sorry.
That's okay.
Chat has engaged clench. Clench has been called.
Here's your daily reminder. The fire extinguisher is above the... on top of the fridge.
Above the...
It's by the front door.
Yeah.
Did we move it?
No,
We have two.
Front door.
the fire inspector moved it. Because where we had it before was behind a monitor, and he was like, it can't be there. And I was like, I could have just moved the monitor. You didn't have to drill a whole new bracket in the wall. And he was like, well, bye.
Yeah.
I mean, he did the... Okay, you only need to hear this, so I'm going to pull this out so I can see. That's good. And there's no shorting.
All right.
No shorting.
Just do that, like, what, 9 more times?
Yeah. You know what? Actually, I think the pin that I just connected isn't connected to anything, so that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Can I see? Oh, yeah, well, you can totally just ignore those first 2 pins.
Yeah, that's... Okay, great practice pins.
Well, that's kind of funny. So that goo there, that's the flux that came out of the solder?
I'm hoping so.
Is it brown and oily?
It looks oily, yes.
Yeah.
That would be flux.
Okay.
Or potentially yellowish.
So, Flan Man, were you suggesting solder them too for structural purposes? Yeah, probably. Were you suggesting heat all the contacts and then just take the solder and drag it across all the contacts, or each one at a time? I'm just curious what strat you were suggesting. That's the soul residue. Okay.
That feels like a really good way for me to need a desoldering braid, which I also don't have right now.
I think the suggestion was to heat the pin and then jam the solder in there.
Either works, apparently.
I'm going to readjust this.
Well, now that the camera can't see it.
Readjust it
That's fine.
so the camera can see it, but also so that I can get the work done.
Prudent.
There we go.
Nice. Well, here, leave that. Let's just wait, a little to the left. There,
There we go.
right in the middle.
That'll do.
One at a time works, but it's slow raking across over all of them at once, but it's easier to overdo it.
Yeah, and that's like, if I F it up raking them all at once,
Yep.
well then I'm just done.
Yep.
If I F up one, then I only have to redo
Ham is a
two.
braver man than I painting figures next to all of this.
I'm not resting my hands on the table or my
Raking it
arms on the
across
table.
does work if your tip isn't sharp enough to do it all at once. Or to do them one at a time, rather. Like, do you need to have the soldering iron in there? Don't you just like put the iron in, heat up the contacts, then pull it out and just like dip it with solder? Just like dip.
I've never had that work on me.
Oh, I've never soldered, so. Well, again, I was in high school, so I don't know anything. That is a dull tip. Yes.
It's a very dull tip. I don't think I have an extra tip. There we go. Perfect.
This is some high intensity finger tailoring.
Whew. That one's close, but I think I got it.
You're attaching this piece to the motherboard? Yeah, this is attaching to the
Serial port.
serial port. That did not come clean.
Yep. A little bit left there. I mean, some on there's not a bad idea, just for tinning purposes, but
Very tinny.
Very tinny word.
Solder.
Actually, solder's a very woody word, I think.
You think?
Solder. Flux is very tinny, though.
okay.
Yeah.
That one's a recheck. It looks very close to a bridge, but
The thing is, like, there's no current running through here, right?
not right now.
Yeah, but so if you bridge it now, it's
Yeah.
not like everything's fucked.
Yeah.
No.
It's
That's what I
a
was saying
giant
earlier,
pain in
and
the
you were
neck.
like, no, it's ruined if I do that.
It's a pain to remove the solder.
Yeah, I get that, but like you haven't like fried it.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
There is no current blue smoke.
Okay, we're still good. The beep does not continue.
I'm really happy how many people in chat actually cottoned on to that like
Sega.
quaternary level
Yeah, Python.
Python sketch. That's a deep cut as far as Python's concerned, I
Woody
think.
word? Oh shit.
Whether
Oh no.
what happened?
I bridged. How to deal with this? Come back to it.
All right, we're going to come back to it. You can always remove some with braid.
Don't have any braid.
Time to desolder.
Defry.
It's bust. No. It can be unbust. I guess it's bust now. It's in the quantum state of bust. It's presently bust. But we can unbust it.
Okay. So the rest of them are good.
So the rest of them are good, but you've bust one contact.
Yeah, one set of two.
I don't know if you can see that on the. It's hard to see, but I believe you.
Fourth one from the left.
Oh, I see it. Yeah. Wait, tilt it. There you go. Yeah, you can see the. All right.
Oh, the tiny little.
Well, they look
yeah.
they look really good otherwise.
Thank you. I feel good about that.
So
Now I can fake this with some. I can fake desoldering braid with some braided wire.
okay.
Do I
So
have
with-
any?
Yeah.
Oh, does braid work by capillary
Abnormal
action?
anomaly
Exactly.
says.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, since you bridge and you don't have the braid, clean the tip on the wet sponge. Give it a few seconds to get back up to heat and reheat that joint.
Just reheat the joint.
Oh, and then just see if.
I can pull some. I mean, I could try pulling
It
some
might
off.
fall apart if you heat it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rake.
Still an A minus.
Just rake the pins now. They should be hot enough. No. Are we supposed to be implementing the swear sensor year round? No, fuck no. That's not going to catch.
The fuck you talking about?
That's good advice Graham just read. All right.
Yeah, I think I want to get a wire in there.
Rake it, he says.
Just rake it good.
Get good.
That's not going to help.
Oh, is that hurting the other ones?
Yeah, it's going to pull solder into the other. It's
Rake
going to.
Rake across, not along. What's that? Oh, that way. Rake this way.
Rake that way. Yeah. Okay.
Rake,
yes.
rake towards you in between the.
No, there's too little solder there.
Too little.
Yeah, it's not enough to break the capillary action. Not the capillary action, the surface tension. Sorry.
How late's Castle open?
Well,
Definitely not now.
some people are saying we could use copper wire
Yeah.
You can pull some of that out of the wall.
Well, I've got some around here somewhere.
in your bag.
Probably. Let's have a look.
Your power fist bag.
Oh, you know what?
Double strength strikes last, ignores armor saves.
Let me have a look here, if you don't mind.
Ian's gonna go deep into the fist.
I'm sure I've got something I can use. The JB weld is probably not going to help.
Braided copper wire would probably work well. Bag of requirement. I appreciate Cam's comment, says Herbert Erpaderp.
Aw. Warhammer people. My people.
They're good people.
That's a lie.
What about a hot blade?
A hot blade? That might just work. Probably not, but it's worth a try.
Like an X-Acto? We have an X-Acto.
I've got blades here.
Wow, yeah, you do.
Got more than that. Here, would you like a 5-pack? Never leave home without it.
Wow. Why did Needle in the Hay just start playing in my head?
Unless you're going on a plane, then please leave home without your 5-pack of
Razor, please.
What are these for? Oh, you know.
Flamman says a super hot X-Acto could. We have an X-Acto knife, but I guess a super hot, that blade is probably going to be just sharp enough. Yeah, that's the problem though, is getting it in there. You got to heat it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I got to see if it's going to get in there, too.
Do you need mine?
I mean, we've got... Is yours the sights?
No, it's mine.
Oh,
But the blades are like 10 cents each.
okay. I have extras, too.
Oh, I've got a box
Oh, great.
that I've had for like 30 years. Well, not 30 years, but
I think the suggestion was to heat the blade. I can't tinker without my friend's super hot X-Acto.
watch
No.
us hot knife live on stream. Painting Warhammer and hot knives. It's just like high school all over again.
We might be there.
It looks like you've re-bridged it.
Yeah, totally have. Yeah, I'm gonna get some wire from a source that I know has wire.
Did you want to take a break now?
I think, yeah, now might be a good time to take a quick break, and then we'll be back while I find some
I
stuff.
see. The rest of them look great.
Thank you. I'll test them afterwards, too.
Yeah.
See you on the other side of these commercials, friends.
I probably won't be here.
See you another time, Graham. Hey, welcome back to Tinker Tailor Soldier Fry, where today Cameron is continuing to paint
The Mistweaver.
the Mistweaver,
And assembling a Night Quester.
and I'm attempting to attach an SD card reader to this Dreamcast motherboard. And I've gotten most of the way, except that I've managed to bridge a couple of connectors pretty terribly now that I look at it, actually, thanks to my futzings around trying to fix it. But I found a source of what I think will be threaded wire, and it's in this. And I want to stress that this is a bad XLR cable.
How much are XLR cables
I
again?
mean, they're like $25.
Oh, okay.
But I also have decided I'd like to one of these days just try to rewire one of these things. So we're going to take some wire out of this. And do a new...
I've always wondered what one of these look like on the inside.
There's really not much to them.
Especially one of the ones where we haven't wound it over and under.
Yeah. Oh, that.
Yeah, where you can actually see like the vein pop out on Alex's forehead. Who has done like professional soundstage.
So there's your cable.
okay.
And basically the ends are reusable because they're just soldered on. Except for this one little crimped bit, which we can pry open with a screwdriver. Or just the fingers. Or a screwdriver. Need to get one though. Thankfully, I can. And one of these days, we'll have a very chill Tinker Tailor where we're doing nothing but just repairing broken cables. We had a box of them, and then I think they got mixed back in with the regular cables.
Oh, good. We'll find them eventually.
Yeah. They will show up.
Dibs on not running Boom.
But as long as we run the multimeter to check the cables, as long as the cable's not completely effed all the way through, we can just resolder these ends back on.
Oh.
But I need to get my screwdriver under that thing so I can pry it up and decrimp. There we go. Could be a little bit more violent with the broken end. Or at least what's assumed to be the broken end. There's really no way of telling that's the problem. But they usually fail around this area, so. Anyway, let's desoldering. They were very liberal with the solder on these. There we go. That's an XLR cable connector out. Screw that back in. Actually, these might be useful if I ever get around to making a cough button. Which I was interested in putting
They're
together.
usually foot pedals, right?
Yeah, and this one was made in a foot pedal design as well.
Cool.
But they cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
Generally because of the XLR connectors. So if we've got spares of those,
Yeah, they would be really handy.
yeah. So I'm gonna take, I don't know, a couple inches off this. How long would that connector normally be? There, so we take it to there. That should deal with the broken bits. And if we've got time tonight, maybe we'll finish up, we'll put this cable back together. But for now, we'll just put the end back on, remark it as bad, if there was ever any doubt at this point. Put it down there. Okay, now inside here, we've got some fun stuff going on. We have 3 delicious pieces of wire. So yeah, this is what it actually looks like inside the...
Oh.
So you've got not only do you have the braided copper wire,
But you have like twine as insulation.
2
Or-
insulated, and yeah, the twine is there
or
as a stress
capacitance.
release.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So otherwise you just have the wires yanking on each other at the ends. That's not good.
Fair.
All right, how to extract that copper. Says every hillbilly ever.
There's copper in them there walls.
I'm gonna get me some.
Was that always just an urban legend about like Russian missile silos losing power because people were outside digging up the copper wiring?
That's one that I'd never heard before. Like, I knew about the tons of copper wire that they removed from the East German consulate in West Germany. Or the other way around. Both ways.
Get you a man who can do both.
Yeah. Guess what? Intelligence works both ways.
I really wanted us to produce a t-shirt that just said doing neither.
Oh, wow, that's actually a really good one. I'm assuming in
like, it
relation
would
to
have been-
magic.
Well, I mean, get you a man who can do both.
Oh, yeah, that too. Choose one or both. Neither. Okay. This is effectively a copper braid now. Which means it should work for the purposes intended. God willing. Let's get it back under.
Have you got pliers?
Hey, let's not touch that with our hand while we heat it up. Thanks, Corey. I mean, I would have figured that out rather quickly.
But quickly enough.
Chat would also very much like it if you cleaned off the tip on your soldering iron.
Slower.
Yeah, just like that. Right. Yep.
It's very dirty.
Yep.
Dirty.
I wonder if I could use some more water in there. Probably not from your sponge. No, it's still damp. If we get too much more done tonight, we might want to do that. All right.
So basically, for the chat members that don't know, you basically squash the cable, the ribbon onto the solder you want to remove and heat it up so that the solder flows up the braid.
That's the theory, anyway.
Is solder still made out of lead?
Yes, sometimes.
It's a mix.
Ooh.
Don't breathe it in.
Okay, it seems to be working. Slowly but surely. I did think I got a lot on there. Just gonna get a clean bit here. And re-begin the smooshing. cardboard dreamworks are also really good for this.
Oh, yeah. I guess they would be.
So you can just suck it out. Oh, this is fiddly work. This is the kind of thing that makes you pay more attention to what you're doing the first time. So while we're on the topic, Cam, how do you fix mistakes when you're painting?
Paint over 'em.
Damn it, that would be so much easier.
Well, I mean, like, there's a couple of different ways. Sometimes, if it's a very small mistake, you can just lightly scrape it off with a knife. Sometimes you can paint over it. And sometimes you have to strip the model. And to strip the model, you can use various things. Windex actually works shockingly well if you leave it in for a couple of days. But I've also had a really good experience with...
Is Windex ammonia based?
Yeah.
Okay.
With engine degreaser.
Engine degreaser?
Because you can get, in Victoria at least, you're not allowed to sell things like that can't be poured down the sink.
Right.
So I found like this biodegradable engine degreaser at Home Depot that actually just strips the paint right off and leaves the plastic untouched. And I've accidentally left minis in for like weeks.
And they just
and they're fine.
strip out. Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So when you buy out-of-print pro-painted models on
Hi. What's
Hi.
up?
Oh, nothing. Sorry.
Don't worry about it.
So when you buy out-of-print OOP pro-painted models on eBay, you can just dunk them in engine degreaser.
Ooh. We're making progress? Question mark?
Making
Yeah,
progress.
there's a real question mark there.
Can't tell.
Making progress. Simple green is really popular as well. I've never been able to find it here. Maybe that's changed, but yeah, the thing with engine degreaser is when you use it, wear gloves, because it's still quite basic. And it will start by drying out your skin.
Oh.
I.e. degreasing you.
Which you probably do not want.
Yeah, unless you're a particularly greasy person, and you are playing Warhammer, so, I mean...
Maybe?
Maybe you could use it. I'm not here to judge. Probably rude. I don't know.
We're all Warhammer players here. I mean, you are.
Ich bin ein Warhammer. What was the old one from 4chan's TG board? God. Fat guys?
Unfamiliar?
Well, the 4chan tabletop gaming board was /TG.
Okay.
So they called themselves Fat Guys.
Right.
it working again?
Maybe. I think I might have just made everything worse. Well, let me do some tests.
Now, Corey, be nice.
Okay, we got 3 bridged.
Oh, God.
Isn't that more?
More?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Cameron, please take the webcam back.
Okay.
Yeah. I just need to get at this myself.
Ying, ying, ying.
Well, it was more. It wasn't on anything.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Oh no,
So-
we got some beautiful shots there, Corey. Can't wait to see those in the highlight reel.
Thanks.
Hold on, sorry.
I was just going to twiddle with the focus. Okay.
Did you get it?
I made progress,
High five.
I think. Definitely lifted more solder than I had before. Another 1 or 2 of those and I could actually have something here. Flattening the braid really helps, it seems. Or flatten the spiral.
Yep. Squash it.
Okay. Oh, we're so close. We might even be there. Please, please, please. Okay. Try without the braid now. Okay, now we still need the braid, but we're so close. I feel like I could almost cut it.
How's it going out there, Chad?
Let's let that be right. Checking the pins one more time.
They're both clenching and doing well.
Good. Remember to stretch before clenching. Wait, what? No, yeah.
One of our viewers is having hot chocolate in a teapot.
Like with a straw?
I would.
Would you?
Possibly.
Scalicatty's been crafting along
Oh.
all day.
Well, that sounds delightful.
The hot chocolate is in a teacup.
Oh, teacup.
Well, there's a teapot, but also a teacup, so I think no straw?
But a teapot already has a handle.
That's true. And a spout that's like mouth-shaped.
You've seen Army of Darkness, right? How about some hot cocoa, little fellas?
Okay. So it feels like I've got it good. Okay, good. Very fiddly work testing these pins. One by one. Because they're very tiny, but
Very important.
yeah. I think
You got it? It's sounding copacetic.
a couple more to check, but I think this shit ugly job just got done.
Nice.
QC passed.
Grats, Ian.
Thank you. Oh, whew.
You can now unclench.
Yeah, everyone
Do so
can
over the
unclench.
toilet.
Okay.
Plunk.
Wow. I'm gonna take a big sip.
You earned it.
Right. We're gonna get a lot done tonight then. Reassembly time. We might even be able to do a sample boot into the Dream Shell. I'm gonna keep that around for future desoldering fun. How does this go back together? Kidding, I don't actually pay attention in the first place. Need the bottom, that's what I need.
The good news is it can really only go together one way.
Yeah. Right, I need the this part.
Just being super useful tonight. I'm just being super useful tonight.
You're doing exactly what you're here to do.
Heckle.
Yeah, actually. Heckle and paint figures.
It's in your contract.
You got one of them down. Now get the other.
Sorry.
Good to know we're all having fun.
Hit the scroll wheel.
All right, so I'm painting the Mistweaver's staff topper, basically. I'm not really super pleased with how it's coming together. We'll see what happens.
Okay, if I recall, we need the long screws here. And the right screwdriver. When screwing into plastic, it's usually a good idea to screw backwards until you can feel the screw start to skip. And at the beginning of its skip is usually the beginning of its hole, and that way you're not forcing new holes into the plastic. It's one of those things that seems intuitive, but some people just don't think about when they're
Well, I
doing
mean, like, I
disassembly.
imagine with, fairly low density plastic that instead of, driving the screw too far in, you just break the shell.
Well, you're either breaking the shell, driving new holes into the post, either which are just you're ruining the plastic.
Yeah.
Same with over tightening. Katana subboard 2. I think I missed an opportunity.
Wakizashi?
I think they missed an opportunity to call it the kunai.
I would have called it a tonto.
Oh my god! Like
I can't fucking do it, dude. I can't do it. Come back.
Is that why he was called Tonto? Because the Lone Ranger was the katana.
Give me your hand.
Fight you. Oh no, that deserved it. That really did deserve that. Okay, I should look at the instructions, because at some point, I'm going to need to lay down a ribbon cable across there. Insert and fold the ribbon cable like shown. Remember to engage the locking clips. Okay. This might be something we could actually get Heather to look at here, if we wanted to. If she can see it, she can tell me.
Depends on where you're going.
Yep. Oh, that should.
Is this good enough? You want it further in?
That should be good. So we're taking this from this end over to here. And we're going to, thankfully the instructions tell me which side to use up and which down. So we're going to unlock the clips on the serial port portion. Slip the ribbon cable in. This is my first time ever assembling a ribbon cable for the first time. Usually it's a reassembly. And then, looks like we want to bend it just as it comes out in your standard 45-degree fold. Yep, that seems good. Great.
You see, chat, what he's doing there is imitation of Wolverine's berserker attack with his adamantium claws. Shall I call you Logan Weapon X?
Did I bend it the wrong way? No, it's the children's fault. No, it needs one more fold up here. That's why. Okay, we're good. So we're going to need to hot glue that in a second. Let's get the rest of this board assembled, though, before we do that. Reach across you here for the shield and the power supply. So power supply goes in next. That goes through the hole. And I messed up on the reassembly. Shield goes in first, then katana subboard. Did anyone catch that in the chat, Corey?
Catch the thing you just said?
No, that I reassembled things wrong.
Yes.
Damn it. You're paying too good attention.
Chat? Thinking we're doing something wrong?
Yeah.
No, the twist was he was.
Yeah. For once. For the first time ever in the history of Loading Ready Run streams, someone has done something wrong verifiably.
I remember. Do you remember that Pictures of Sad Children T-shirt that just said "Haters occasionally going to make a good point"?
No, I do not.
It was really good, and I wanted one. Haters occasionally going to make a good point. It's true.
Occasionally they will. All right, there we are. That is in position? Something's not fitting right. There we go. That feels better? Yes, that is correct. There should be a little bit of bounce there because of the connectors. Okay, this uses the shit. That's why we take pictures.
The arm bone's connected to the shoulder bone. The shoulder bone's connected to the rib cage. The rib cage connected to my wristwatch. Whoa.
It wasn't so loud that it hurt. It was surprising, but also why?
Because I'm clumsy. Anyway,
Okay, it sounded
I'm
like you
in-
got
I'm-
gut punched, and then
I'm ready for my close-up with the knife. No. Sitting here painting minis in front of 1,000 people while being kinda 2 beers in. My paints are so loose.
I love my job.
the face you're making right now, Ian, is definitely love.
Ain't gonna say it.
I mean, Corey would know.
There we go. Okay.
Oh, these holes.
Keep it all in cam. It just hurts.
Sorry?
Keep it all in cam. It just hurts. It hurts us all.
Got it. Mom?
Oh, good. Okay. I think we have screws in the right position now. Four long screws go in here. Oh, well, no, that's fine. Everything's fine. I'm going to get really used to actually putting this thing together and taking it apart. So I just realized that if I'm going to go in ahead and solder the IDE cable onto there, I'm going to need to take it back apart. But we might as well test this first, which means getting everything back together. Or mostly back together. Need 4 of those for the outside. Which means...
I remember there were places where you could just bring in your consoles and get them mod chipped.
Yeah, those were places, well, at least in my area, I ended up taking it to a guy in the middle of a residential district.
Yeah.
In the middle of winter. My first time attempting to mod a console, it was actually an Xbox that I bought for my parents.
Right.
So that they could have a DVD player that could do a bit more, because I installed XBMC on it.
Right.
And, or I was going to. Because, you know, hey, that's a great little media center application. They can get their stuff from anywhere. Problem with that was I tried doing the mod myself. I bought the chip. And I ended up lifting a pad. So that was a bad time in terms of solder. It was one of the first things I'd ever soldered. And yeah, lifting a pad and then part of a trace off of a motherboard is something you don't forget.
Right.
Because it's not easy to fix.
I just remember, like, a couple of years ago, we went to GP Vancouver, and we were staying in an Airbnb. And we found an Xbox in the closet. Like, they had advertised, it also has an Xbox. And we take it out, and it's modded to hell and back with, like, a 75 terabyte hard drive with every Xbox game ever.
Wow.
And all the menus have backgrounds of Jordan Price. And it's like, really? I mean, all right.
You were so close. Fun fact, I watched all of Battlestar Galactica on a modded Xbox.
Ooh, thematically appropriate. What did you do?
I pushed through the hole where the power goes, and it poked my fingers. I made an owie.
Well, that's probably the safest kind of owie you can get when you're handling a power supply.
It's true. So true. Where's the best way for that cable to come out? I think it's right there. Oh!
I mean, it went snap rather than fwap.
Yeah. The power supply was made in ow.
Fwap and then...
Made in Indonesia. Obviously, I took the power supply out first because the picture says you had this in. Are all the holes? Nope, all the holes are not filled that I can fill. I want to say those are black screws. I did not take enough pictures. Okay, that's in there. Now, the drive. Cool. That feels good. I feel like, goodbye. There it is. I'm happy with the amount of screws that we have remaining.
Good sign.
Do you want to move slightly more forward, Cam?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Close enough.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I've still got to do her sword, but I think I've got the staff into a place where I kind of like it. What I'm trying to do is like have the moon shapes and the horns fade from like a dark midnight blue up through like a bone color to white, because they're supposed to be like moon shapes, right? Like crescent moons. And oh, it's a real son of a bitch, but I think I've got like something approximating that, and I like it now.
We're making progress. Everything is coming up Tinker Tailor.
Never be afraid to make mistakes. There's very few kinds of mistakes that you can't repair,
Yeah.
or that really matter.
What was I saying the other day? It was saying that we really are all just a combination of the mistakes we can't undo. That's what really makes us who we are.
Well, biology can be interpreted as a series of failing, has a never-ending series of fails upward.
like that.
Failing forward.
And because it's your descendants that benefit, you never learn yourself.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Our motto makes sense.
Got there.
Love that smell of power supply.
Does it smell like ozone or bacon?
Well, if it smells like bacon, you...
It's better than ozone.
Truth. All right. I think it's time to hot glue this sucker. Excuse me, Mr. Officer. Here comes the hot glue gun.
Heard her.
Thank you, Corey.
Question from Dark Morford.
Yes.
Dear Dr. Ian, any plans for instrument modding, guitar/bass on stream?
Modding the physical instrument itself? I think we had Beach come on to try and fix his guitar.
Yeah, well, wasn't I thought he was just restringing it.
He's restringing it, but he also wanted to check the pots, or possibly replace. He wanted to see if the pots were working to see whether or not he needed to replace them.
Oh, okay.
It turns out they probably either needed cleaning or replacement. Because it's very difficult to actually look inside of pots. I've got a stand-up bass that I probably can't fix myself because I can't find the horn necessary to make the nut. You'll let that hang there for a second. Yeah, turns out that instrument repair shops don't really deal in the sort of thing that we need, or that I need to repair a stand-up bass. And God, that was it's a nice stand-up bass, but the company I used to ship my stuff from Japan really effed it up.
The chat suggests adding lasers and a fog machine to Beige's guitar.
Oh, that's very clever.
Yeah,
That was
Can we
James.
ban that person?
that was James. Yes, we can.
Can we get James to come and do that? To be just guitar?
Hey James, do you want to come on Tinker Tailor with a project? Such as adding lasers and a fog machine to Beige's guitar?
We'll trade off Beige's guitar for James's van, and they can both mod it.
Do fans even have jack holes?
Not yet.
But they will.
Next on Tinker Tailor Solar Fry, we add jack holes to James's van.
They're not what you think they are.
They're never what I would think.
I mean, James is driving it, so it already does kind of have one jack hole.
They're not what I think they are, and they're often less what I want them to be.
I'd file a suit, but
Alright, Ian, your microphone is just gently resting within your apron. There we go. Thank you.
Okay, I think I've got this in place. I'm going to leave 2 small marks to tell me where the SD card comes out. Those marks might be too small. Yep, they were the right size to begin with.
also less than 3 James. I didn't mean it.
Yeah.
James takes very good care of us here.
James P. Good. Hot glue. It shouldn't be nearly as funny as it was.
But it's not.
It's funny because it's not funny at all.
That's not how that works.
We're laughing at you laughing at a joke that's not funny. That's what's funny.
Oh, I don't know what's in that lead.
Lead! Lead is in the lead.
This explains a lot. Okay, we're back.
Should we open a window?
Why bother? Just get me a plastic bag. It's faster this way.
Okay, let's find those markings and mark the top of the case, and we're going to just cut a little bit out of the case. Hopefully. There. And there. Okay, now comes the delicate part of cutting a piece in your Dreamcast. A very small amount, too. I mean, we're just looking at barely a quarter of, not even a quarter of an inch, barely an eighth of an inch. That's thick plastic, too.
Actually,
Oh, a small drill?
yeah, do you need a pin drill?
Maybe. I've never actually used one before, too. That sounds amazing. I don't think I do, though. As much as I'd like to use it.
Like, where would you be?
Like, really, I'm just taking a small bite up there and then across. So maybe...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, in that case,
I mean, that's... Oh, wow. Oh, wow, yes. That would be perfect. Thank you.
sorry, I thought you were drilling a hole. I didn't know you were sawing out a new. Faster, yeah, do it.
That's about all I need, actually. Maybe,
Okay.
Maybe one more. Maybe one. Nope. That's actually all I need. How thick are SD cards? That thick. Perfect. Okay, and one more time on this side. Nope.
Seriously, if this saw slips and cuts him, it will have earned it. Like, yes, cut away from yourself, but honestly, this is way better control.
Yeah, this is amazing. I feel like I want one more. Nope.
Who else has blood coming out of their ears?
Thank you, Cam.
No problem.
I'll clean that off too. I feel like I need one of these.
No, they're really handy.
Yeah. Okay, now to score between there and there with a straight line. What do I have? A ruler is probably the smartest option.
Do you have a ruler?
I don't think I do. Do you?
I should in my bag in the main room in one of the front pockets. Heather, could I ask you to check for me? I might not, though.
Front pocket?
Yeah, and if it's not in the front pockets, in the front compartment is a pencil case. Double underlined with a ruler.
Ooh. You've been around for a while, good Dreamcast.
Are you going to clean it?
Yeah. I think when we take it apart the second time, I might just send it. Well, no, I can't send it through the dishwasher, but I will clean it. Thankfully, it's not of the type of plastic that needs retrobrite. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Heather.
All right. pressure and straight line. And score. Score deeper. A third time.
Is he like this all the time, Corey? It's not just a performance thing?
Are you going to answer that, Corey?
She did.
I'm just trying to call up an example. Like, at one point, I filmed a vine of you eating a basil plant in our home.
It's like a deer? Or what?
Yeah, and I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna, like, turn off the lights and refilm this vine. But it was just, I walked around the corner and Ian had a plant in his mouth. I was making appreciative noises.
I like basil.
So do I, but... Just sitting there gnawing on a branch.
In the hallway.
Like outside?
No, it was just in the hallway in our apartment. Just holding a potted plant.
He didn't even cut off the leaves?
No, he was just holding it.
What are you?
Human being.
I was worried about that.
Okay, let's shave this out now. Yes. That's what we wanted. Cutting away from oneself.
Yeah. Fuck. Dude, just let me do that, okay? Please.
We're almost there.
Ian, may I make a suggestion?
Yes.
Don't hold it like this while you're cutting away from yourself, okay? Like this. There you go.
Good shaving.
You see? For shit's sake.
Quite there. But thank you for the sandpaper. Just
I looked away for like 3 seconds.
Yep.
Oh, he's got it again.
Ah, blood.
Just keep it on the table where we can see it.
Okay, it was really hard to catch.
There we go. That's what we wanted. We all okay?
Yeah, fine. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good,
I'm alive.
Good.
There is no blood.
Have you tried turning it off?
Okay.
I was looking for that vine and I found another one of Ian just making weird noises in the dark in the living room.
Oh, I remember that one.
You know, I didn't make it deep enough. Need another couple bits of a cut.
So which Dreamcast games can't you play with an out-of-the-box Dreamcast?
Actually, there's more Dreamcast you can't play with this mod. I mean, it's... I just remember going through Shenmue the first time and having long, extended periods of...
Loading.
And so it was noisy and slow. And I just think this will be a better experience. I was
Fair.
going to put Heather through Res on this machine for Rhythm Cafe, but thought that would just not be an optimal experience.
I think we should do it so I can compare it to a PS4 version.
Yep. I don't think you're wrong. But I still want to play Samba de Amigo. And that's, that would definitely benefit from being hard driven.
How you doing out there, Chad?
You remaining unfreaked out?
Remaining? I'm hoping they're getting.
I just posted the Vine links in the chat, so they're a little distracted. Somehow they didn't believe me that you were just eating a potted plant. Also, Ian, have you told them that we just own a Dremel? That we've got a Dremel with lots of different attachments?
We do, but a Dremel's uncontrolled and...
Yeah, but they keep...
Oh, well,
Bringing
yeah,
up-
that would be really... Yeah, you wouldn't want anything uncontrolled happening in here. At any point in this show, I just imagine, like, Ian is seconds away from drilling me in the side of the head so hard that I just suddenly forget how to speak.
Nope, Cam's one
No,
of my favorite people in the show.
I really have to ask, do you mean out of rage, or do you mean just a mishap with a drill?
Out of rage, or, I mean, hell, now that you mention it, an accidental lobotomy seems like the kind of thing that could just happen. Accidental.
We didn't mean to. Accidental. Drill lobotomy so long.
God, do you remember in the latest Bond movie where they drill into his brain?
Oh, yes.
And they're like, this should completely prevent you from moving. And Bond is like, lol, no.
Yeah, that was...
I like how that suggests that Bond's brain is vestigial. Like, if you took an MRI of Bond's head, it would just be like this inches thick layer of plaques that are caused by, like,
Oh, God.
like scotch and syphilis
Scotch,
that have, in fact, armored his brain.
Scotch, syphilis, and concussions.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like, we're going to give you very fine brain damage. And Bond is like, you know that I get concussed and syphilis and blackout drunk for a living, right?
Yes. It's the only way we can make sure our agents leave the agency with no information left. Also, why we hire orphans? Spoiler for Skyfall, I guess. Oh, that's right. We have to chat about Westworld soon, too.
I'm really interested to see where that show goes, and it had better be going somewhere.
Well, 2018 is when we'll find that out.
Really? We don't get another season next year?
Yep. Which is, in a way, good. It means they're going to take their time filming it properly.
Yeah. Filming was not really that show's problem.
No, that's true.
I guess they have to wait for Radiohead to release 2 more albums, so they have some music to use.
Burn.
I mean, we said Sailor Moon Crystal was going to be good because it was delayed.
We did.
How's Evangelion episode 4 coming?
I think Anno is still sobering up after Shin Godzilla.
I mean, has 3 even gotten a North American release yet?
I don't know.
I think it's coming soon.
Well, that's only like 3 years late.
I mean, he has said that the reason that he took so long to put 4 out is because of the new Godzilla.
That's fair.
Turns out the new Godzilla is also really good.
No kidding.
It's unfortunate that we haven't had a release here in Victoria, but... Dream Shell. So you can download your own Dream Shell from a scary Russian site.
Oh my god. Hold on, let me take my phone off the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, what's the site again?
Scary Cam in more than one way tonight.
Apparently, 3.0 is out
Oh, really?
Yeah, 3.0 has been out for
okay.
a while. That's
in North America.
Oh,
okay. Dream Shell is at dc-swat.ru /page/Dream Shell.
Does our Dreamcast need a firewall now?
no, it's installing one for you. It's very good.
I think
Great, you're going to have the world's slowest bit miner.
I mean, that's true. It does have a 56K modem in the back of it.
It's also 9 if you want to take a break.
I think... How long do we want to keep going on this? How long?
I'm feeling fine.
Okay.
I'm good as long as you're good.
Okay, I'd like to actually give this a quick boot, and then maybe I can finish that, or rewiring that cord.
Sounds good.
So let's take
yeah.
Let's take a short break, and then we'll be back with more Tinker Tailor Soldier Fry after this.